Show. This is the Big O 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 Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. Howdy all. Hope you all are doing well. Yes, it's a beautiful Friday. You made it. Some people don't know I'm on. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Anyway, all right, it goes. That's how it goes. You know, it's all good. It's all good. You know, and it's on demand too. So it's kind of, and we're sometimes afternoon. We're sometimes in the morning. We do move around a little bit. So I kind of get it. This isn't the kind of stuff that I'm going to tell you, hey, I need to take a break. So not that kind of phone call. If it was that kind of phone call, then I would take a break. But it's not going to be any newsworthy thing there. So we'll have to call that person back when we get an opportunity. Anyway, good morning, one and all. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching the show, catching it, wherever you are in the world. And we thank you, Sean Stanley, of course, who masters this entire platform, and my partner in crime and myself. Thank you, along with everybody else that is on the platform today. David Furones, Manny Navarro will stop by. So they will join us. Hour number 2. We'll have some fun with those guys, and we'll get it going as always. Anyway. Okay. Here. All right. Anyway, so all good in the hood. So we'll have Manny and we'll have David in hour number 2. I got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. Obviously, we'll talk about what happened last night with the Miami Heat. We'll talk about the Panthers, Marlins. I got some Dolphins stuff. You know, we are at 21, and I'm going to start picking up the draft talk in the next week or two here, because I don't want to do it for 3 weeks out. It's just too much. It's only 2 picks, really, first and second round. We don't, they don't have a third or a fourth. And what are we going to do? Talk about fifth? And no, I'm not worried about that. That whatever happens there, it happens, and we'll talk about it during the draft time. That's what we'll do, because I like knowing who's off the board, and then I can talk about who's left and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into that. I'll give you a couple guys that I like at 21 early on here. And we'll talk about that. I got a bunch of Bitcoin stuff. Wow, dude, it is freaking, like, it's exciting actually to see all the stuff that's developing and the explosion that is coming. Marlins are still winless. In fact, I think they're the only winless team in the majors. The White Sox are 1-5. The A's are 1-6. The Mutts are 1-5, and the Rockies are 1-6. And our beloved Marlins are 0-8. They'll enjoy the night off tonight, and then tomorrow they're back at it in the afternoon. So I got a couple of afternoon games actually tomorrow. That's because the Panthers are at 3:30 and the Marlins are at 2:15. So that's actually pretty cool on a Saturday. The good thing about the Marlins game is by the time the Panthers roll around at 3:30, that game will be out of reach already, and I can just switch over and pay attention just to the Panthers, which, of course, it's Boston. So it's going to be a very important one, a nice test for them. They played the sorry Senators yesterday, and they did what they were supposed to do to a sorry team. So we got a bunch of stuff, music, entertainment, as always. We got the women's Final Four tonight. So, there's it's going to be a fun sports weekend, actually, outside of the Marlins, of course, because the Marlins aren't really fun, So anyway, so we got all of that going on, of course. We appreciate all of you tuning in. Remember, you can always make a donation to the program, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And just to throw some stuff out there right now, Bitcoin's at 67,426. It got as high as 68.8 yesterday, right? So I would not be surprised. Remember, the market tumbled yesterday. It was down like 400 or 500 points or whatever it was. It was like ugly yesterday. Today, it's actually started up pretty good, the market, which is always important, right? I mean, you know, liquidity is important for all investment levels. And so the Dow is up 100 points, the S&P is up nearly 30 points, and the Nasdaq is just barely up. It's not even, it's, you know, it's like 7%, you know, it's barely up. So it's nothing. No, 0.7%, by the way. So barely up right now, but still that's up. And right now the market's at 67,473. And if you're a Bitcoin guy or girl, if you're a, let's call you a Bitcoin maxi, if you're like me, that you're very pro Bitcoin, listen to this. Morgan Stanley now wants to be the one that houses Bitcoin ETFs, because UBS now wants the same thing. So all of a sudden, Wall Street now, okay, BlackRock just added Goldman Sachs, Citadel, UBS, and Citigroup to their Bitcoin ETFs as authorized participants, which allows them to offer it to their clients. Okay? So, and now you got the race between Morgan Stanley and UBS to be banks to house Bitcoin. Australia just announced they are launching their first Bitcoin ETF live this year. I cannot stress this enough. I am not a financial advisor, but it just doesn't take a financial advisor. It doesn't take a genius, because I am not a genius. I am not Mr. Intelligent by any stretch. Okay, I am just a regular blue-collar, hard-working dude, and that's it. Okay, with just maybe a little bit of common sense every once in a while. And if you don't see what's happening in front of you, I can't help you. I really can't help you. And I've done my best. I've done above and beyond my best over 3 years now to explain this to you all. Okay? And I told you a couple of years ago, banks were going to start failing. And like money in the bank, that's what's happened the last year and a half. And I told you this shit 3 years ago. All right? So, I mean, I'm just telling you, it's going to take over because it's the strongest asset in the world. And it's just like flying to the moon and the internet and mobile phones and credit cards and email. And it's the same thing. Nobody believed how strong the internet would be in the email and space travel and flying. And then now it's all part of your world. Same thing here, bro. Blockchain, Web3, crypto, especially Bitcoin, it's going to be all part of your lives. And the rich and the powerful have already gotten in. The smart asses, we got in first. Now the rich and the powerful are in. The question is, when does the average person figure what the hell is going on? And then they say, I am not going to allow this to pass me by. And remember what I told you, for you newbies, you're going to regret that this dip didn't last longer. Just like the people that got in when it went to 51 or whatever, and it dropped to 38 really quick, and they bought it, and then it went back up right away. And everybody that bought at 38 right now is feeling like a genius. Buying it now, and when it's 100,000, 140, 150, 200, you're going to feel like the same person that bought it at 38. I'm telling you. So, not a financial advisor by any stretch whatsoever. You go ahead and ask another professional. Maybe they can help you. Maybe they can't. But it's happening. And remember I told you, the God candle's coming. It's coming. There's going to be a $10,000 jump, and it's going to freak everybody out. And then, it's going to trigger the FOMO. So Anyway, just to throw that out there, get it off my chest, because I will feel good, when it's like I tell people all the time, oh, I'm in the green. I'm like, man, I'm so happy for you, because it's a great feeling that you could sell right now and make a lot of money, and you're going to make even more because it's going to continue to climb because we're in the beginning of the bull run now. We're probably like really, to be quite honest, we're probably in the early part of, or maybe the back end of stage 2. Nobody's in stage 1 anymore. If you wanted stage 1 of this bull run, that was 9 months ago. Okay, that was a while back, where you got the real bottom of everything. And then we're like in stage 2, kind of the back end of stage 2, because once we hit the halving in 2 weeks, we hit the halving. When we hit the halving, then we're hitting stage 3, and the explosion starts. So I'm just telling you, all these ETFs everywhere, they have to buy Bitcoin to fund them. There isn't enough, So those of you that own Bitcoin, you should be sexually aroused by all the stuff I just told you. Put it that way, because your bags are just going to get fat. 67,842 now. It's jumped up $400 within a couple seconds here. There were a couple minutes of us talking. So we're going to see, because we're on the brink. We are on the. It has consolidated sideways for a while now. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, let me show you this. You guys will. Okay, right about here, right? Yes. All right, here we go. Right about here. Yeah. All right, I'll show you that. Let me show you something, which is pretty cool. Because again, remember what do I always say? Not micro, it's about macro, right? Don't I always tell you that? So, if you can, Sean, pull off the thing so they can see, like right here. See this mark right here? 63,137. You see it here? 65,000, right? And then right here, 65,000. So since this point right about here on 3-4, we have pretty much gone sideways. Okay, and today's 4-5. So for the last month, we've been pretty much consolidating, going up and down, up and down, up and down. And as you all know, it consolidates for a little bit, takes off. It consolidates for a little bit, takes off. It consolidates for a little bit, takes off. It consolidates here and this one for a long time, then it took off. So every time there is some kind of sideway, I'm showing the 1 year. So this is, it's not like a week or two or whatever. So throughout the year, you'll see the moments where it'll go sideways, but it'll continue. Now we're on a parabolic run. If you notice from this point on, from October, remember I told you that the real low was several months ago. So, on October 16th, this was not the low because it was 16,000. You'd have to go back. But on October 16th, you were at 28,000, right? Yeah, 28,000 October 16th. Since then, you've only been on a complete parabolic rise. And so now you've been consolidating for about a month where you're looking at it to the left. It's about to hit 68,000. We started at 64,400 when we were starting this conversation. And now we're about to hit 68,000 because it is due. Yesterday it went to 68.8. That was the peak. And then it came back down a little bit. Now we're going to find out if it goes to, like I told you, between 72 and 73. Once it hits that slingshot, we're going to 80. We're going to 80. But let's see. We've been teased. So this happens throughout this entire bull run. You get teased. And then eventually it busts through the glass ceiling and then it continues its run. So we'll find out. We'll find out. But anyway, just to kind of explain it to you, you got to look at it that way. And as long as you're patient and you look at the macro and you just continue to buy the dips, you will continue to make money. You will continue to build, what hopefully for some of you out, I mean, not all of us, we don't have the kind of money to really turn it into, but some of you may be blessed enough to have the kind of money that you can turn it into generational wealth. Some of us, like myself and others, maybe we're paying a few bills. But there are some of you out there that could take advantage of this, and it could be generational for your family, So that's take advantage of it, because if you don't, you're going to regret it, So anyway, okay. All right. Anyway. Pipe Man Slim says, "What up, watching from Cancun, smoking my Cuban. So glad I'm on Bitcoin and Ethereum, my man." There you go. And Ethereum ETFs will be approved eventually, no matter what the SEC tries to do and all their rigging or whatever, and trying to, what's it called, buy time and all that, because that's all they do. The Ethereum ETFs are coming also, so you're gonna love it. All of you are going to love it. All right. Spoke my piece. Jamie Zoria in the house. He's loving Finn's Nation and hope everybody has a great weekend. Smash that like button. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe, watch hours. That's the most important thing. All of that. And of course, donation. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of, and maybe even a compliment. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And of course, you can always make my favorite kind of donation. I love me some Bitcoin donations. You can make it on Cash App or Venmo. Ray says, "Morning, forget Jimmy pacing himself because he's saving the little gas he has left. Doesn't look like he has any gas left." Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little Heat last night. Where's the beaten horse? Where's the beaten horse? I'm gonna keep beating that horse. Where the Stars last night? Where the Stars? Where are the Stars? At the fair, they've got the space adventure theme going on about the stars, but no stars. So, you realize that Terry Rozier is more of a star in the NBA than Bam Adebayo. And I'm listening to the broadcast, and Bam's only got 2 points up until this, and only a couple. Why? Why does he? Because he's not a star. Because stars demand the ball. Stars want the ball. You can't keep the ball away from a real star because everybody knows he's our star. Feed him. Why don't they do that? And then Jimmy Butler, as I've been pointing out for several weeks now, he's out of gas, bro. He's done. He's toast. Absolutely. This guy's avoiding practices. This guy's avoiding games. This guy coasts through games. This guy has nothing left in the tank. He is saving whatever he has left for the playoffs. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If there's a bad playoff performance, this will be, remember what I told you about Mike McDaniel, that the ending of this season, that if he ended badly, it will lead to putting him on the hot seat next year. And next year, if he doesn't start well or things go, he will immediately be put on the hot seat by people. Trust me, because I've seen this. Well, here's where the relationship with the fans and Jimmy starts to get really wrecked because fans forget quickly. And, they're already like, some fans are like already tired of this game. And by the way, the reason why you're also tired of this game, because you're a Heat fan. You're used to a team that outworks everybody in the preseason, in summer league, in the regular season, in the postseason. You're not used to watching anybody ever coast in a Heat uniform. That does not exist. People don't take games off. People don't take practices off. People are not out of shape. That's not Jimmy's issue. But my point is there's a laundry list of things that you don't do in the Heat organization. And by the way, I want you to know, because I've been around that organization for 3 decades now, 3+ decades. The employees are elite. Elite human beings, elite workers. It is the most family-oriented organization I have ever seen in my life. It's not even close. Like, it's not close. That's how awesome that organization is. I really I took the on-site job reluctantly because I never really wanted to work with a team. I don't want to work with teams because then I cannot be objective. Once a team hires me, I'm fucked. And so they're paying my check, you know what I mean? So I'm not a fan of that. But the only thing is, my dream was, and I still think I could do it now. Now I have no desire to do it anymore because I'm just, I'm kind of tired of the selfless approach already to things. I'm kind of at a point now where I'm going to be a little bit more selfish, to be quite honest. I've been too selfless for many years. I've helped too many people, and not enough have helped me. So I kind of want to change that. But I still believe that an all-digital sports station could work here and kick everybody's ass. But it has to be done with like real ownership. And that's the only reason why I thought, okay, well, he's going to be dedicated to it, and he wasn't. And you could tell by their own product that they are not, that he'll spend money on the team, the players and the coaches, but the product itself, the production, all that, they cut too many corners in the end. They weren't really dedicated to it. So that's why that shit ran its course. And so just, man, the Heat organization is like none other. So this must be, like I told Ira, this must be killing them. This is a game that was super important, and Jimmy could not do anything last night, bro. He coasted. He had 20 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. That's bullshit, dude. He wasn't trying. He was hoping, like he has in some of these other games. The other guys bailed him out. You need this badly, dude. And look what happens. Maxey, 37 points. Embiid, 29 points. Last time Otto Porter played even a better game because Embiid wasn't there and played like a star. And yesterday, what did Porter have? I think he had a half-decent game, if I remember correctly. I'm not going to say he's Maxey or Embiid. Let me see what he had last night. Kelly Oubre had 18 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, a block. Well, actually, if anything, he played even better than Jimmy Butler. Jimmy had 20 points, but he had 4 rebounds and 5 assists, where Oubre had 8 rebounds, 2 steals. Okay, he didn't have the assists. And he had a block. Jimmy didn't have a block or a steal. He only had 1 turnover, which is good with his assists. And by the way, Butler played 40 minutes. 40 freaking minutes and shot 7 of 17. Kelly Oubre was 8 of 14, much more efficient. So their third player was better than the number one star on the team. And Rozier is the one that's played with like balls. What have I told you for a while about why Bam isn't a star? And why he's a super role player like he did last night? Because that's who he is. He can't impose his offensive will on anybody. And in this league, like I've said 100 times, if this was the 90s, I might back off my argument. You know, because Ben Wallace was a star. But again, you were scoring 80 and 90 points a game. Points were a premium. Points were a rarity. So the defensive presence was a lot more important in those days. In today's game, the defensive presence isn't nearly as important as the offensive presence because it's an offensive game. And so last night, where were your stars, bro? Your star didn't show up. Rozier at least plays with balls like he wants to be a star. Is he really a star? No. But at least he has the will, the desire, the fire. He wants that. He wants to be on that wall. You need him on that wall. And then where's passive Bam? When you need him. Over and over again, he does shit like this. Over and over and over and over. There was another game a couple weeks back that they needed, and he had like 8 shots in the game or some shit. I point this out all the time. This is a broken record. I've beaten this horse over and over again. But you know why? I keep beating it over because I want to keep reminding you. Because, see, those of you that actually think you know basketball and think you call Bam Adebayo a star, you wait for a couple of moments a season where you call him a star. Stars show up every night, dude. And guess what? Butler's no longer a star anymore. Sorry. You're not a star if you can't carry your team in the regular season and the postseason anymore. He's a part-time star now. You know, Stevie Wonder sung about a part-time lover years ago. Great song. Oh, great song. And that's kind of who Jimmy Butler is. He's our part-time lover. Because he can only show up at one point of the season now. He can't even show up in the regular season anymore. We don't even have regular season Jimmy anymore. Nah, he's too busy riding horses and drinking coffee and buying coffee beans and, you know, shit like that. That's his thing now in the offseason. Let me work on in the regular season. I'm working on my brand. So, there you go. All you have to do now is somebody, okay? Somebody go get Part-Time Lover, the song from Stevie Wonder, and let's rework the song for Jimmy Butler. Part-Time Butler. That's it. And we should serenade him in the arena. Our part-time Butler. And that's it. That's all. That's what we got. We got a part-time Butler now. You don't have a star. You have a part-time Butler. There's no stars anymore on the Miami Heat because Jimmy Butler, not a legit star anymore. Legit stars star in the regular season. I mean, that's what LeBron did, right? That's what Bosh did, right? That's what Wade did, right? That's what Shaq did, right? Didn't they shine in the regular season? And then they shined in the postseason. How about Zoe? Did Zoe coast the entire regular season and then Zoe coast? That's some funny shit. That's some funny shit right there. That's the oxymoron of oxymorons right there. Zoe coast. Like I can't even say it with a straight face. I can't even say what that guy can't coast in a practice. Zoe coast. No. No. Sorry, no. Zoe's going to go through the motions of a regular season game. Alonzo Mourning. That's funny. That's hilarious. That right there. That's it. That's all I got to hear. I've never seen this shit. Last night I'm watching this game and it's like, brother, there's no heart and soul to this team anymore. The guy just doesn't want to show up, and he can't. He's afraid because he knows that if he starts doing it now, he'll have nothing left in the postseason. That's it. I mean, it's an absolute joke. Really, we really should not watch the Heat season. I know I'm going to watch every game every minute because I'm an idiot and I love the Heat and all that, but honestly, there's no reason to watch the regular season anymore with them. Who gives a shit? They don't care. The guy that gets paid the most money does not give a shit about the regular. He doesn't care about practice. He doesn't care about the regular season. He doesn't have the effort anymore for it. Nothing. It's as disrespectful as it gets to every season ticket holder, bro. All those people pay a lot of money, man. A lot of money to be at that arena. And you refuse to perform? Because that's the way I look at it with Jimmy Butler. He refuses to perform. Dwayne Wade performed until the wheels fell off. He did whatever the fuck he had to do to prepare for a game before and then the recovery after. And it was a mission. And that guy did it every night. And you knew he was all effed up. I'm just not used to this. It's not acceptable. And last night, no stars. And please stop making yourself look like a complete buffoon. Bam Adebayo is a super role player. That's it. He's the best role player we have ever had. He's never, ever going to be a star. Ever. Stars want it. Stars demand it. Stars are respected because they know they don't want to deal with them in the locker room or in the huddle if you could have given them the ball and they were the difference maker. Right? 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 Isn't that what a real star is? The real star puts the burden of the game on themselves. And if you didn't put the burden on them, they are going to be really pissed at you, teammate, coach. That's what a star is. Bam Adebayo doesn't ever fit that characteristic. And I'll keep hammering it away. Oh, he hit threes. He hit one a game. Oh, my God, he hit two. Well, yeah, I'm going to start shooting them more often. What happened last night, dude? Let's go. Cojones. Any cojones, Bam? No cojones. Because you don't want that smoke, dude. Stars want that smoke. Stars want to be in the middle of the game with the game on the line, with the free throw on the line, with the three-pointer on the line, with the elbow jumper from the line, with dunking on your ass on the line. That's what stars want. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want that smoke. So stop being an idiot. Okay? Nothing about Bam Adebayo says star. Everything about Bam Adebayo says superb role player. I'm here to support you guys. I'm not here to lead. I'm here to support. Not lead, support. No problem. We love it. It's all good, Udonis. It's all good, PJ Brown. It's all good, Grant Love. It's all good, James Posey. I've seen all these players. It's all good, Keith Askins. I get it. You guys can contribute some offense. There's no doubt. But We know what you are. We know what you are. You might occasionally hit a nice basket here or there, but we know what you are. You're a foundational supporting piece. Now, he happens to be the best one out of the lot, except for shooting. I'll take UD's shot over Bam's shot in a key moment any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Okay? UD was fearless in that sense. He's the best one out of all those guys I talked about in a clutch moment. Give me UD. Give me UD. I'll take that. I'll take that. And still, UD is a super role player also. Not a star. That's all. It's some of you really don't understand what the hell is going on in basketball nowadays. So, and you get lazy because some of the writers have also, been suckered with it, and they're around them and all that, and they're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings or whatever. But he's a fantastic human being, not a star. And last night he proved it once again that he's not a star. That's it. So, I'm just tired of it. Tired of the bullshit every time, and you people have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Tonight, they take on Houston, 8 o'clock. By the way, Pacers are taking on the Thunder, so they're in that middle of that race, and Thunder's pretty damn good. Saturday, the Sixers take on the Grizzlies. Easy-ass game for them. Heat are at the Pacers. Very tough game for them. And then Sunday, the Sixers are taking on the Spurs. So I could easily see the Sixers jumping the Heat now. What do you got, Sean?
10:30 this morning, NWS Boston, not sports related, but there was an earthquake felt in north central New Jersey, 4.8.
Wow.
On the scale. And the only reason I started looking for it was because WrestleMania is in Philly, and there were some people saying they felt what felt like a small rumbling in like buildings. And then I saw it on Twitter. A lot of people in New York City saying they felt it. So, but at 10:25 this morning, it registered. I went to usgs.com to confirm, and I actually waited for a news service to actually put something out because I didn't know if it was true or not until I just saw that.
Okay. I follow some of those geological, what's it called? Yes, breaking 4.8 magnitude earthquake reported in Northeast, shaking felt in New York City, Philadelphia, Boston. That's the Weather Channel. And B&O News, earthquake near New York City has a preliminary magnitude of 4.8, epicenter near Lebanon, New Jersey. The Lebanon. I love that song from the Human League. And who have gone when the soldiers have gone from the Lebanon. Okay, not hearing about damage right now, but a lot of earthquake reports that we do have. All right. Anyway, so that's all I could tell you. The Heat, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. They're going to need a run because if not, it's not going to be a fun offseason. Not going to be a fun offseason. Let's see. Steve Chapman in the house. Back for my daily dose of Dolphins football and crypto. There you go. Jay Gelfin saying hi to everybody. Shitty loss for the Heat last night. I think it's time for the Heat to start preparing for life without Jimmy. Well, that's if you trade him, but if not, you're kind of stuck with him for 2 more years. What I don't want to hear is extension. And I've been on this for a while now. Like, I don't want to hear shit about an extension. That I will rip the Heat if they extend the dude. The run happened. It was great. It's over, bro. Just let it play out. And if you can dump him, move on. Great. I doubt it because very few teams can handle Jimmy. The guy doesn't play anymore. Doesn't even practice. Cap for Life is in. Steven Gonzalez. He's tired of Jimmy. He wants to blow it up. Let's see. Would drafting a wide receiver in the first round be logical? No, it would not be, Cosa Nostra. It would not be logical. Alignment is logical, offensive or defensive. Doesn't make sense at all to get a wide receiver in the first round. And by the way, if you draft a wide receiver in the first round, then guaranteed Tyreek is gone at the end of the year. I already told you I think he's gone after this season, but if you draft a wide receiver, then for sure you're moving on. That I can tell you. Okay, I don't think so because I think you got to get yourself an O or D lineman desperately with that first pick, and you're going to have an opportunity to get a good one there because there's enough that at 21 there'll be a lineman there available for you, and you can get the best one you want, O or D. So that's what I would do, but that's just me. Radio host is in Los Angeles. Willie is in. He's in Colombia. I know that. Crypto Fins is in New York City, where that earthquake was felt. Alexis is in. John Padilla, Aaron Hernandez, NorCal. He's in Placerville, California. Aaron is in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, gentlemen. Omar Lopez, Ray Sosa, Lisa Rose, Lord Warden, Pat in Asheville, Gus 1388, Drago, Mr. Ospina, Ray. How much do you expect to his new contract to be worth? Be in the 50 range, and it'll be no less than 5 to 7 years, I would say. Something like that. Yeah. Let's see. Is it bad that the Bills are losing all these players makes me happy? No, it's not. It's supposed to make you happy. It's supposed to create an opportunity for another team like the Dolphins. So they have no excuses now. You better win the division. That's the way I look at it. And if you don't, then I don't have a lot of hope for you then. What up, O? Watching from Cancun, smoking my Cuban. So glad I'm on Bitcoin and Ethereum. There you go. Pat in Asheville. No doubt. What are your thoughts on Jasmine? I'm fine with Jasmine, bro. I'm not worried about Jasmine. Everything's been dropping, dude. Lots of things have been. When Bitcoin slides, altcoins bleed. That's just the way it goes. And you have to have patience. You know, you probably just got in or you're just losing money right now because it might have gone lower where you bought it. I bought it at 33,000th of a penny. Okay. And where is it at right now? It's at 187. I'm at 5x right now. Or, yeah, about 4.5, 5x. I'm loving Jasmine, bro. You understand? There's a difference. So where are you coming from, One-Eyed Jack? Did you buy it at 2 cents? You waited for the pump of a couple 100%? You understand? So are you a long play? Are you micro or are you macro? Because I can sell right now and make 5x and pretty good money. I'm good. But I'm Lupe Fiasco. I kick, push, and coast. I'm not flinching, dude. Not worried about it. I think it's going to go up to several pennies. So what am I worried about right now? You understand what I'm saying? You either are calm, cool, and collective long term. I already told you guys this. Didn't I say this yesterday, Sean? That if you're in for micro and short term, get out because you're going to lose money. Did I not say that yesterday? In investing, I only invest long term. I'm not a pump and dump guy. I'm not rich. I'm a hardworking blue collar guy. So what I'm looking for, I started investing 3 years ago, One-Eyed Jack. I bought Jasmine at its bottom like a year ago. You understand? So I have patience. I have no intentions on selling. I'm a freaking rock. And if anybody's been watching this show for years, for months, you've never seen me get nervous or flinch. Ever. Because I'm not thinking about the now. It's down the line. Ask Lisa, who's been in it a long time, or Brooklyn Rob. Some of these people have been watching this show for years now. A couple of years ago, I told everybody, this is about 23, 24, 25. That's what this is all about. And yeah, I got you injective protocol in 22 that went up a couple 1,000%. You could have gotten out in 23 with that one. I gave you that when I gave you SHIB back in the day, and it went 15x. I've given you some that you could get out and get some money out of it. But the other stuff, it's long term. So I am not worried. But see, if you got in later, then if you're not thinking long term, then you're going to drive yourself crazy. It's like the guy yesterday was, where am I going to get the cheapest commission? Well, wait a minute, dude. Are you worried about 2 or 3% when if it goes up 40, 50, 100%, 300%, 500%, what do you give a shit if you pay 2 or 3% in your or 1.5% in interest because you had to pay a service fee? It is what it is. They have to make money too. They're providing a service. So if you're making the right investment, you're not really worried about that little charge. You know what I mean? So that's the long answer. But I want you to think, if you're not in a macro and you're in for micro and you're just dying to get out, my advice for you, One-Eyed Jack, get out now. Sell, get out now. You don't have the guts. You don't have the heart for it. This is not for the weak-minded. The weak-minded lose money big time here because they didn't study. They probably went off what somebody else said instead, so they don't feel good. What do I always tell you guys? Do your own homework, study, so that way you feel good about what you're investing in. If you're going off of what somebody else said, you have no stability. You have no foundation because there's no intelligence behind it. There's no information. So if you don't have it, then you're at a disadvantage in investing. Okay? So that's what I sense a lot from you, One-Eyed Jack. Somebody that didn't study Jasmine, that has no, they cut a deal with Panasonic just recently. Wait a minute. Oh, my bad on that one. Here it is. So, here you go, One-Eyed Jack. Just to kind of help you out. Do your homework, bro. Jasmine partners with Panasonic to launch Web3 Internet of Things platform. So they're involved with Honda, with Sony, with Panasonic. It's two former Sony executives that created Jasmine. Okay? You got to have patience. All of this is being built. And then this is all, the world will be using the blockchain and Web3 and crypto and Bitcoin, and every business will be on the blockchain because that's the more secure internet. But this doesn't happen overnight. You're at the beginning of it. You're at the cusp of this, at the start of this, before it explodes. Panasonic, the renowned tech giant, has joined forces with Jasmine Blockchain to introduce a groundbreaking Web3 platform that will facilitate the seamless connection of personal data on the internet of Things to IoT. The collaboration between the Japanese-based blockchain and Panasonic Advanced Technology was initiated in February, but the official announcement was made on March 28th. The newly developed platform based on Jasmine's innovation personal data locker product aims to provide a secure data storage solution while granting users full control over access to their data. Goes on, but you got to know what's going on, bro. You have to be informed. Okay? Because if you don't do your homework in life, in anything, but especially investing, you got to know what's going on. You should know what's going on in Japan. You know, if I invest in Jasmine, I'm also going to find out what's going on in their economy and what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know if that coin's going to grow. So you got to keep up with everything. You know, I can only help you guys so much, but you have to be able to help yourself too. No doubt is in. Brett says, I'm assuming that Bitcoin ETFs will grow alongside annual BTCs, just not as drastically. Right. And by the way, Bitcoin 68,475 now. So we're close to yesterday's high of 68.8. Okay. So we're, as I've been talking, we're almost approaching now, you know, the high from yesterday, and maybe we'll surpass it. But I beg you all, if you're investing, do your homework. Whatever you're investing in, do your homework. Learn about it. Chad is in. Think Blue Dodgers. Frankie Fresco. Nico Jones. Frankie's loving that Pendle. Huh, Frankie? Frankie loving that Pendle, baby. I gave you guys Pendle at like $1.34, $1.43. I forgot which one, and it's at $6 now. Woo! Ray Grullon, Drago, Alexis Palenzuela. Does anybody make you guys more money? Nobody, right? Nobody comes close. Nobody. Ray Sosa, Hayward Highsmith has been more efficient than Bam. Yeah, he's really turned into a really nice player. Kyle Cockrell, Embiid bounced back quick. Yes, he did. Yeah, maybe they waited till he was, you know, fully healthy. But one more thing. Yesterday I saw something because I thought about Embiid and an injury-prone player. The Marlins. Early in the game, Sean, Jazz Chisholm has a head-first slide into first base. Did you see that? Did you catch that yesterday?
No, sir.
Unless you're playing for the pennant or the World Series, okay, and you're Jazz, I'm always effing injured Chisholm. I never, ever want to see that again from him. Okay? You're not Pete Rose, bro. You're not Ricky Henderson. You're not durable. You're not tough. Okay? Sorry. You're a hell of a player. We all know you got great talent, but you can't stay healthy. You can't. Tyler, you these are players that cannot do shit like that. You got to understand who you are. I saw that and I was like, are you out of your mind? I get it, dude. You want to leave it all out there and whatever, and you're dying to get a win and frustrations building, but bro, you're fragile. You're fragile. Your uniform should say handle with care. You should be on bubble wrap on the road or something. You and Tyler. I saw that yesterday and I was like, what the hell are you doing? You're Jazz Fragile Chisholm. So when you're that kind of player, yeah, man, don't be doing that kind of stuff. By the way, let me tell you a little bit about Welton Realm, 954-966-4646. We love talking about Jeff Welton, Daniel Realm. I know Jeff Well right now is loving his crypto bag. Bankruptcy, homeowner, property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, These guys are the best. We witnessed it firsthand. Progressive Insurance was giving us the runaround. These guys crushed them. Several of our listeners now, we've had a lot of listeners now call Welton Realm and hire them and now close because it's been, it takes a while for some of these cases. And now they're coming in, and a lot of our listeners have taken advantage, and you can too, man. They're in Hollywood, but they've taken care of even one of our listeners in Orlando who came down to pick up his check. So call Welton Realm, 954-966-4646. By the way, if you think you have a case, you're not sure, the consultation is completely free. Jeff Welt's there for you, 954-966-4646. Welt and Rail. All right. Oh, man. David Furones, by the way, will join us around 11:20. Manny Navarro will join us at the top of the hour. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Alan Blanco and the great people at 3A Graphics, custom printing and embroidery, 786-618-1443. Sixers over the Heat, 109-105. Miami drops to the 7th seed. Philly is the 8th seed, and they're only half a game behind. Could be passing them up this weekend when it's all said and done. Tonight, they take on Houston, 8 o'clock on the road. Will not be easy for them. Panthers, they crush what they should do to the Senators, 6-0. Bob with 30 saves. Tomorrow, they take on Boston. That should be a hell of a game at 3:30. Let's go Panthers, bro. Let's get it done. Saturday, no Messi, I would imagine. Inter Miami taking on Colorado. If they play Messi tomorrow with Monterey on Wednesday on the road, they're just king-size dumb. But so I'm not expecting Messi to be playing tomorrow. We'll see, 7:30. And then the Marlins are off tonight. Saturday, they're back on action at 2:15. Second game against the Cards. Trevor Rogers taking on Steven Matz, the 0-8 Marlins. Oh, and by the way, I'd be remiss if I did not mention that at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse tonight at 7 o'clock in Cleveland, Ohio. The ladies' Final Four, number 3, NC State taking on number 1, South Carolina. And at 9 o'clock, number 3, UConn taking on number 1, Iowa. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Okay. Ocala Joe, thank you, sir. I was finally able to buy my Bitcoin from Tangent. Thank you for your advice. Have another great show. There you go. Load up, baby. Good for you. Bam is an all-star. Yes, but does not play like a star. All-star is not a star. Okay? All right. All-star, any player can have a decent year and be an all-star. You're not really a star. Stars are franchise players that carry teams. Superstars, franchise players. That's not what he is. It's all good. Clarence Weatherspoon. Nah, I wouldn't even call him a super role player. We had a 2.5 earthquake in South Carolina that I felt and heard rumbling pretty cool when they're harmless. Yeah. I don't know. Not listening right now, but Long Island had an earthquake 4.8. My wife says my whole house shook. I'm in Amityville, Long Island, felt nothing. Was it no, Red Room is from The Shining, right? What was the Amityville one was just get out. Get out. Yes, that's it. That's all it was. Oh, does it make more sense for me to hire Tyreek as a life coach or stare in eclipse for an hour with no eye protection? Oh, so that's why the Trumper is so orange, because he keeps looking up. I get it now. I bought at 0.0216. I'm in for the long term on Jasmine. Okay, well then hang in there. I knew you bought late. I could tell by your reaction, so that's why you're losing money right now. You bought late. You didn't listen to me early. Okay? When it was at 33,000th of a penny, and where Where is it, damn it? Where are you? You didn't believe when I gave it to you at 33,000th of a penny. You FOMO'd. You got in late. So now you got to wait patiently. And now, see, here's where you're panicking. Okay, One-Eye Jack? I'm not a financial advisor by any stretch whatsoever. Do you know what an investor does when he believes in what he's investing in and it goes lower than the number he bought it at or she bought it at? Do you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to buy more to lower your average. So that way when it bounces back, you're making even more money, One-Eye Jack. What a concept, huh? Why do you think I tell you in Bitcoin every time there's a run and then there's a correction? And as I showed you in that, I should pull it up again. I don't know if do I still have it here? I don't know if let me see something here. Oh, wrong one again. Let me see if I don't know if I saved that picture or what. No, I don't think so. No, unfortunately. But I showed you that, 3 bull runs ago, the dips were 40% every single time. So it responded every time. And then last bull run, it was 30%. And then this bull run you've had 3 20% corrections. So if you invested early on and then you followed the run and then you waited for a dip and you bought the dip every time, you gained 20% just as a gift. And in this dip, it was 18%. So if you believe in Bitcoin, what you do is you rebuy again on the dip because it's going to then return. So if you believe Jasmine is going to go to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 pennies, and right now it's at 1.8 and you're at 2.1, why aren't you buying and lowering your average so you can make more money? Comprende, compadre? So that's really how you're supposed to invest. Okay, if you're really a real investor and if you believe in your product, you want to make more money, lower your average. That's the idea. And then that way you make more money. So if it's under what you bought it at and you believe in it, then you're supposed to keep buying so you can lower your average. If you don't, it's because you probably shouldn't even invest it in the first place. And you should sell and just take your losses. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the game is really played, One-Eye Jack. So that way you can maximize your investment. You're not maximizing your investment right now. There's a little advice for you. Again, not a financial advisor. You do your own homework. Oh, you got me a Perdomo cigar. Well, the Panthers last night came up with a 6-0 victory. Give them a victory cigar. And that's where it ends because the Heat and the Marlins don't get a victory cigar. No, they don't. Let's see. They should sell the Marlins and have banana baseball at Marlins Stadium. It will draw more people. It probably will. The Savannah Bananas. Yeah. It might be fun it must be fun to go to one of those games. Big O, the Marlins need you in the front office. No, they don't need me in the front office. That guy doesn't want to hear the truth. He wants to make money. He wants to cut corners. Plus, I'm not smart enough in baseball to help in the front office. Yeah, well, they got it. Dude, 67, for them to find a Dave Dombrowski, they have to be able to spend. If you want one of the best people running baseball, well, you're going to have to spend to buy them, and then you're going to have to spend when they tell you. Sherman can't do that. He can't handle that. He's a minor leaguer. 30 years since Kurt Cobain passed away. I know. I'm only in April right now, but it's like December's a little bit of ways, but it's like 3 years is going to be without my best friend. And it's just like the weirdest thing how we just in December, it was 2 years and it went like this that we lost Bill. Time flies, dude. Time flies. It's terrible. I cry every time when I see Maxey and Booker. Can't believe we passed on them. Yeah. Big O, the Marlins are a terrible yes, they are. Correct. Buy low to reset your average lower for more profits. There you go. Gabriel gets it. That's how you're supposed to do it. Big O, many folks just don't get DCA. It forces you to buy low and sell high. Yet so many just do the opposite. Brett, it's who we are. We wait for the obvious. See, One-Eyed Jack, he waited for Jasmine to get to over 2 pennies because it takes balls and conviction to buy at 33,000th of a penny. Because you're like, wow, it's so low. Why? The market has gone down and everything. It's like, and it's hard to buy negativity. It's super easy to buy positivity. It's super easy to sell negativity. It's so fucked up. But you and I are programmed completely different. We see the dip, and when everybody's running for, cover, we're like, no. I'll take more. Let me have some more. Why do you think I did this experiment now during this dip with Bitcoin? Because I want to show on Cash App, I've bought some Bitcoin, and some of you have donated to it. And I'm going to show you exactly what has been invested in it and what the profits are. On this next pump, when it pumps, I'm sorry, Sean, send them links. My bad, I didn't send Manny a link, and we're late already. And I'll just keep talking shit forever. So what was I saying now? What was I talking about? Shit. What was I talking about now? Anyway, so, you just, I know it was something investment related. Well, yeah, we're so in tune with investing that we don't, because most people aren't investors. Most people don't follow. Most people don't follow the news, the politics, the economy, all of that stuff. In order for you to invest, you need to follow that stuff. Really boring, really tedious, time consuming. People aren't willing to do that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm willing to do a lot of that stupid stuff because I'm really investing. So the problem is they hear what everybody else, and so they FOMO and they go with it. And then when the bad news is out there, they just hear what everybody else is saying, which normally those people don't know anything, and then they sell. It's terrible. All right, let's take a break. Hour number 2 is next. Manny Navarro will join us on the other side.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Be there, be there.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Right, let's go. It's the official. Where is our pickleballer? Oh, there he is. There's. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, brother?
Good.
Doing good. Good morning, man. Playing lots of pickleball here in Central Park and Plantation. Having a good time as always.
Okay. I look forward to doing that one day. Can't do any explosive movements for about 6 months because of my surgery.
It's a long recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm walking now finally and driving, and for the last 2 months being in bed, bro.
Functional.
Yeah, I'm functional now. Yeah. But at least, hey, man, at least I knocked 30 pounds off in bed. That's
amazing.
Shit.
That is a real achievement right there, brother. That is a real achievement. Congratulations.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just starve your ass for 20 hours a day. No problem. You'll shed that weight faster than what you think. All you got to do is no eating for 20 hours and eat only for 4. You'll see it'll make a difference. Anyway, let's get to it. What did you see from spring football of what you're able to see? And by the way, you're also able to unearth.
Well, I mean, I think for sure the biggest thing is that Cam Ward is the real deal. I think this passing game is the real deal. I expect them to be much better on offense this coming season. I think that's legit. I think that's been proven. I think there's still some holes that Mario is going to address in the transfer portal. I think running back might be one of them. And that's just because, you lose Henry Parrish. You have Mark Fletcher, who's your best back, coming off a foot injury. So you don't want to go into a season where, if you can add a veteran guy that can be a true number one, then you do it. And you kind of have the other guys as supporting cast. So I think that's something that'll happen. I think they're looking at cornerback. I think they're looking at safety. But, look, I like a lot of the new additions. I think all the defensive linemen they went out and got are good players. They're going to be rotational guys that'll help you, whether they're starting or coming off the bench. I think, Mish Powell, the safety they added, is a good player. And I think they've got some freshmen that are really, really good, man, that are going to be really good players here. I think, JoJo Trader, Elijah Lofton, they got a lot of interesting young players that I think are going to be big-time Hurricanes.
I read Gabby threw out there that this was going to be a monster weekend for them on some visits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you hear?
It is a monster weekend. A lot of big time guys coming through because this is another sort of scrimmage weekend for them, and so thgoing to have guys out there able to see the coach's coach and have the players interact with them and all that kind of stuff. So, there's going to be a lot of big time kids here. It's a long list of names of guys, but again, the most important thing is that they come in now, right? That shows you that they're serious about Miami because they're coming on their own dime. They're supposedly coming on their own dime, right? Because this is the non-official visits. And then the most important thing is getting them back in the summertime, which is when they make the real decisions after they visit everybody else, right? To come in for an official visit. So that's what this time is about. It's basically the courting process. Hey, are we going to go on a serious date in June? Are you guys really going to come back and really consider it? So this is what you're basically trying to do right now. And you're also trying to lay the foundation for next seasons. A lot of 2026 guys that are elite guys that are sort of testing the waters out right now. So an important weekend in terms of just making a good impression and showing the kids in a one-on-one situation when they're there watching scrimmages, hey, this is how we coach. This is what we're about.
By the way, remember, you go to Canes Wear, you use our code BIGO10, you will get 10% off. If you go online, you can use our code BIGO10, you will get 10% off. And If you order over $99, you will get free shipping. So they got anything and everything practically with a Canes logo. Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers, Inter Miami, Messi stuff, Marlins. They got it all there, bro. Okay?
Yep.
And when you buy Marlins gear there, that's the only time you'll feel like a winner. All right. Anyway, so what are the targets, bro? Because I know I don't want you to give it all away, but I know you were talking about some portal targets. So give me some name or two out there.
Oh, well, listen, I think a lot of the guys haven't even entered their names into the portal yet, which is why this is sort of the interesting time of year because, there's not supposed to be tampering, but there's 1,000% tampering going on throughout college football. Guys
Can they get Bronny James as a tight end?
Can they get who?
Bronny James as a tight end.
Maybe they can get Bronny James.
Bronny's going into the portal and the NBA draft.
Well, I'd like for them to go get DJ Burns. Have you seen the size of that kid at NC State? I'd love to see that guy on this team.
He wants nothing to do with football.
Yeah, well, that's the guy I'd want. I don't know if Bronny James can actually play football. So,
yeah, no,
his dad could. He couldn't. I don't know if he can.
Yeah, his dad actually was pretty good. I don't know if Bronny ever played football like LeBron did earlier. I think in today's world,
it's all specialized.
Yeah, they're not multi-sport players anymore. It's like we used to love being multi-sport just as regular, just as playing stuff. Like we love the change of season. We love playing the different sport. Nowadays, they just keep you on one sport and they hammer you away. What do you?
Football. I would say just football, for instance. I mean, a lot of those guys end up playing 7-on-7, or they end up, lifting weights and training all summer, or like that's what they're doing. And then by the time spring football comes around, they're practicing with their teammates again. So that's why we've seen the death of the multi-sport athlete. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I agree. All right, what do you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out, my man?
Well, we came out with that All-State series earlier this week. I had an article on the Hurricanes, sort of a big, wrap up to the spring of what we could take away. So if you haven't read those are out now on the website. And then we're going to have the All-State Georgia team. We're going to have Alabama. We're going to have Texas, California. So if you're a guy who just loves football and wants to see, it's a modern day era recruiting All-State team. The best of the best, and Tyreek Hill, one of the best to play in the NFL. Obviously, one of the best players in the game of football, was considered for the All-State Georgia team, but didn't make the cut. So he's not on that team. But there's a lot of other good players. Calvin Johnson. So all that will be coming out soon. The Georgia All-State team, and as I mentioned, the other states as well. So it's a fun series if you like reading about football and what the best recruits have been to come out of each of these states over the last 2 decades.
All right. Any pickleball tips too? I mean, you got to come up with an article now to,
Yeah, I should.
Oh, come on, bro.
I should. Walter Villa, who's one of my longtime editors at the Miami Herald for many, many years, and one of my best friends, he's actually got a pickleball column now with the Herald. So if you are a pickleball aficionado and you want to read about different things that are going on pickleball-wise in South Florida, read Walter's column. He does good work.
I mean, yeah, dude, I miss, I believe he's no longer with us, but when he was, Tino Geddes, bro.
Yeah.
Sports, bro. Come on. I need that section there. We
had a lot of interesting stuff in the Herald back in the day, man. We had all kinds of stuff, participant sports, youth sports. I remember, going to the neighbors section and reading about all the little leagues and all that kind of stuff. It was good times back in the day.
We used to have even a boxing writer.
Yeah, Santos Perez. He still writes an occasional column every now and then, but good people for sure.
Back when a sports page was a sports page,
and not a pamphlet, right?
Yeah. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Manny, as always, I appreciate you, my brother. We'll catch up next week. Have a great weekend.
You too, brother. Take care.
Thank you, sir. There you go, Manny Navarro. Remember, Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. Use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off. Really, really cool place. They got so many things there. It's heaven, really. If you're a South Florida sports fan, you will find something you love like this hat that I bought there at caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. Oh, man. Let's see. What else? Yes, I'm buying more of the dip. There you go. That's what the dip is, a gift if you believe in your investment. So that's just kind of the way it goes. All right, let's talk a little Dolphins football with our Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report with the great David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayon Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
There he is, ready to go, except we got him covered up here. Let's see. Let's uncover him. There we go. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Getting ready for a weekend.
Yes, I'm with you there. So let me ask you, how do you read into the Diggs situation and for the Miami Dolphins? Because I kind of put the Dolphins into a corner now. Brother, there's no more excuses. You better win this division.
Yes.
I don't give a shit.
Thank you.
Show me coaching. Put it together. Now, if you're as injury riddled as you've been the last 2 years, obviously you ain't winning shit. But if you're healthy enough, you're going to have some injuries. But if you're healthy enough, no excuses, dude. You better win this division. That's what I say.
Thank you. Yes, I voiced a similar sentiment on Twitter this week. It's just, and largely because I already felt this way already. It's just, you've had these 2 years where, okay, sure, yeah, you have your tailor-made excuses to not being available at the end of one season, and then almost everyone else either banged up or out late last season. Okay, we understand.
Linebackers that were with AARP cards, bro. I mean,
yeah. So, So, I mean, it's just sort of a buildup of, all right, it was also very disappointing to finish last season not winning the division after you had a 3-game lead with 5 games remaining. I mean, I did pick the Buffalo Bills to win the division at the start of last year, but there was no reason I should have been right in that prediction once it got to December and the Dolphins had a 3-game lead in hand. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be an extreme heartbreak, epic failure, supremely disappointing if we go through another season where the Dolphins don't end up winning this division and finally break through get over the hump of the Buffalo Bills. Do not let the New York Jets bypass you. If one of those things happen, then yes, it is a colossal failure in 2024 when the Bills have had to trim even more than the Dolphins have, and the Dolphins have been able to replenish more so this offseason from what they have lost. So, yeah, let's set some expectations. Let's say these Dolphins need to win the division, and they need to set themselves up with a home playoff game and finally win a playoff game for the first time since 2000.
Yeah, it's time already at this point. And I, outside of the Wilkins part, I don't think you've taken that many steps back that people think. I think you've gotten better at linebacker. I think you got better at in the secondary, actually. I think you have better players there at that point. I think, as I talked about it the other day, I think Jordan Brooks is your Josh Allen stopper. They wanted to get a bigger, faster linebacker. So when Josh wants to run, Brooks is going to be the guy that's going to stop his ass. So they're even scheming their defense like you should to knock off the team that's at the perch, and that's them. So for me, I like a lot of the things that they've done. The Wilkins part, well, maybe that's what 21 is all about, dude. Maybe 21 is where you invest in a young defensive tackle that you can groom alongside Sealer, and you have the rest of the journeymen around that, I don't know, maybe Weaver likes a couple of these guys. He thinks he can get some mileage out of it. Did you take a step back there? Yeah, it looks like it. But everywhere else, I like this team, dude. And if you're able to get that third receiver, even though I really want DJ Chark, that's the guy I really want.
Yeah.
But Odell would be, I think, a fantastic addition overall as a third receiver, fourth option.
Yeah, all those things. We know the Dolphins aren't done yet in free agency, and then they have those couple of draft picks, and then they could even add some extra draft capital if you have a lot of the guys that you like still available, whether it's a defensive tackle like a Byron Murphy or a couple of the interior linemen, if Jackson Powers-Johnson and Graham Barton are both available, hey, then maybe you can just trade down a little bit if there's a taker that you can find that'll give you some extra draft picks, either somewhere in the middle, maybe even adding something for next season, all of that. You already know you're going to add some extra 2025 picks from compensatory picks. But, and as far as Diggs, I mean, he himself, I understand that last season he wasn't as productive late in the year and this and that, and the Bills offense took off once they sort of phased him out, and Ken Dorsey was out and Joe Brady and this and that. But, Diggs' presence was still there. So there's a lot to be said about when Diggs is there. And I know going into Week 18, that was the main guy the Dolphins were worried about defending as far as the pass catchers there. So his presence opens a lot of things up for everyone else, the tight ends in that offense, and catching passes. And other receivers. Now they don't have Gabe Davis. Khalil Shakir is coming back, and right now would be their top receiver, along with Mac Hollins going in there, who was a favorite of a lot of people here in Miami. We all loved him for his personality and everything else. But now he's going to be on the other side of the rivalry. But the Bills will certainly be picking up another receiver, whether it's through the extra draft pick they got, if they move up and grab one of those first rounders. That guy's still going to be a rookie, though, going into next season. So it's not an established guy like Stephon Diggs, who, by the way, just last season was also in Week 4 torching the Dolphins, and Cater Coe, specifically going for, 180 and 3 touchdowns. It's going to be a welcome sight for the Dolphins, believe me, not having Stephon Diggs in the division, although he's still in the conference. And if you want to go far, then you're still going to have to deal with those Houston Texans too in the AFC.
What's this? Let me see. Marquise Brown, the boy Cheetah, be moving. Marquise Brown has reached 20 miles on 33 route. Brown will look to add speed to Kansas City. And then Cheetah says, "Thanks, brother. I'm proud of you. From one fast brother to another, Godspeed." So I guess him and Hollywood Brown are going back and forth on speed, on the speed stats.
Is that right? Yeah. Hollywood Brown, a South Florida guy. A lot of speed comes out of South Florida. So, yeah, I mean, he'll be big for the Chiefs.
Because they got the most 20-plus mile routes. Tyreek Hill has 73 of them since 2020. Marquise Brown is 33. Brandon Cooks is 31. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 28. And Jalen Waddle is number 5 at 26. So Miami has 2 of the top 5 20-plus mile per hour route runners in the NFL, and Tyreek has done it 73 times.
What was the difference between 1 and 2 that you said? 73 and 33?
33, 40. Since 2020.
Right. Which cuts off half of Tyreek Hill's career too. But
Right. But
those other guys have been in the league since.
Exactly. That's probably why, to put it evenly. But hey, Miami's got 2 of the top 5 20-mile-an-hour runners. So that's actually a pretty cool thing, overall. So
yeah. And they run the routes that will let you gather up that speed. The deep balls. We saw how many times Tyreek Hill was connected with, Tua connected with him on the deep ball, the go route. Jalen Waddle, the one game that Tyreek missed against the Jets, they had a big connection. So they're not afraid to send them deep or run those 20-yard routes that then they in cut when the safeties are giving them so much respect, and then Tua has so much space to get them the ball. All those things. So let them gather up that 20-mile-per-hour speed and then either break off that or just keep going, and they get open.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there 100%. All right, so we're still a couple of weeks out. where are you standing at 21 for the Dolphins?
Yeah, I mean, some of the things I mentioned there, if you can beef up either the interior of the offensive line, the defensive line, pick up that defensive tackle that you're going to need, an edge rusher, I like all those things. So if it's one of those, the Jackson Powers Johnson or Graham Barton out of Oregon and Duke respectively, the interior lineman, if a Byron Murphy's there, I like him. If it's the edge rusher from UCLA, Layatu Latu, all those would be great. So, I mean, whoever's available out of those, I'm actually going to be doing a mock draft soon. So when you ask me what I'm working on, I'll say that coming out next week. So then I'll kind of see when I put myself in the shoes of every franchise that picks before the Dolphins, as far as if I legitimately like one of them to take away some of these prospects that I like for the Dolphins. But if a lot of them are available, then I also like the trade down scenario where, okay, a lot of your prospects that you like are around. Some of them are going to still be around if you move down a few picks. And then if you could add some extra picks, I would love that scenario for the Dolphins. So all of that. Or we've talked about Brock Bowers too. If he slips a little bit and there's a spot where you could trade up into, especially knowing you have some extra 25 picks, then maybe that's an option too.
Yeah, that's one that could end up happening. If not, is there a name at 21, a name or two that you're kind of looking at and saying this wouldn't be a bad pick?
Yeah, all those guys. I mean, if it's Jackson Powers Johnson, Graham Barton, Layatu Latu, Byron Murphy, I like. So I don't know if any one of them is just like so home run that okay.
I want you to commit to one or two that you really, really like. Latu, I really like a lot, actually.
Yeah, and Perk actually, he mocked the Dolphins picking him there, so that would be nice. Hey, UCLA number 15, looking like Jalen Phillips out there.
Yeah.
Could be nice to get another guy like that.
I don't know if he'll last, but
yeah.
Jared Verse is another guy that I like a lot.
Jared Verse. There's Penn State Chop Robinson.
Yes, yeah, but I like Jared Verse a little bit more than Chop.
Yeah, well, I see him going a little bit earlier.
That's where I think there's so much. A lot of people like him earlier, but I think Verse is another one that would be really, really nice as a pass rusher for them, dude. I really do him. So that would be pretty cool if they're able to get somebody like that, because then that makes you feel better about Phillips and Chubb, bringing them along slowly. And both guys, by the way, were at the Heat game last night, so that's good to see that they're out and about.
Yeah. And Mike McDaniel had mentioned they need some time to relax too, because they've been working so hard in rehab. They're basically living in that rehab room. So I mean, good to see that they're approaching it with such vigor to go in and attack the rehab that they have off their injuries. So I mean, you got to feel optimistic about their prospects coming back. But then also, if you draft one of those guys, then just to be able to start off with Shaq Barrett and the other one, even if the two of them are either PUP to start the season or they just need to be on a pitch count, then that makes you feel really good about the rotation that you have. And then even moving forward, once you do work Jalen and Chubb back into the lineup in full force, then you don't have to go and commit to, all right, every snap they're going. You can sort of conserve them a little bit and then have them come out with more high motor for the snaps that they are out there, whether it's like a 70% situation, and then you have Shaq Barrett coming in for like a high energy 25%, and then you're him and the draft pick can be switching sides, picking up a 25% there, 25% on the other side. Like all that would be really good.
I'm with you there. All right, what do you got going on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, myself and my colleague Chris Perkins coming out with all the different draft previews on different positions, Dolphins outlook at different positions on the depth chart, and then also prospects that Dolphins could target. We just hit on we start off with quarterbacks, running backs, O-linemen. So then O-line was a huge one, obviously, for the Dolphins. And then also I'll be coming out with a mock draft pretty soon. So I'll be working it up over the weekend. And then sometime next week, you guys will be seeing that. So a lot of pressure on me. What am I going to do at 21?
All right, there you go. Follow him on Twitter at @DavidFuronis_. David, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.
You got it. Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. Do not call the insurance company when you have a problem. You call first your lawyers. And when you call Welt and Rayom, they have their own adjusters. So they will make sure they put the insurance company in their place. So make sure you're protected because the laws do not favor the consumer anymore here in the state of Florida. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Alrighty. Appreciate you all out there as always. Thank you for supporting us. However it is you support us. All right, what do we got here? Simple math. Buy $1, it dips to 50 cents. Buy it at 50 cents. Now your mega average is 75. Being at $1, this for me is the long haul of willing, stay ready and not trade off the news. There you go, Gabriel. There you go. We talked about Ron Brewer yesterday, and it was just sad, man. Sad. It's where we're at now. We're at a point where, at least I'm at that age where, I'm losing a lot of people that I know and worked with or whatever. It's just constant, man. Constant. If Latua 21, I'm not waiting around for the card, is already filled out and would be sent within seconds. I agree, Ron. Graham Barton is not a first-round pick. Sorry, not sorry, but if Barton is a selection at 21, I will not be happy, just like I hated the Austin Jackson pick at 18. Austin Jackson turned into a good player. It's just that he had terrible stuff at the beginning that he didn't have the right people to bring him along. So he ended up becoming a hell of a pick, actually. He's turned into a very good player, So you have your receivers. Tyreek and Waddle are not the problem. You needed a line. You got to protect the quarterback. You got to build the lineup. Austin Jackson would have played better if he had these guys right from the get-go. He would have been a hit right from the get-go. Fucking guy was like pulling 40 yards downfield in a game last year. I mean, he's athletic as hell for a right tackle, man. So I don't know. It's hard to complain about Austin Jackson now. It's not his fault what was going on, It's the environment around him, so I can't blame him for that. Let me tell you something. At 21 for the Dolphins, I love Jared Verse. I think his pass rushing ability would be phenomenal. Do I think he'll be there at 21? Probably not. You know what I mean? It's just like Brock Bowers. Do I think he's going to last at 21? No, but I gave you a crazy scenario that maybe with the Colts needing a wide receiver and all that maybe it opens up the door for them if he lasts in the mid-teens, that they could trade up and try to get him. Again, that's another crazy scenario. But Latu from UCLA is a guy that I would love. Troy Fatanu, the Washington guard tackle, just like Guyton, guard tackle too. So these are guys that have flexibility. Jackson Powers, center, Oregon. These are all guys that could be options for them at 21, whether you get a pass rusher or a lineman. But I think that's where you've got to focus if you're the Miami Dolphins. You've got to shore up one of those sides of the ball. By losing Wilkins, maybe you found the gem with one of the guys you signed. Who knows? I doubt it, but you never know because, stranger things have happened. You find a gem and the guy finds his way and, he becomes a guy. But if not, you got to draft somebody and start developing somebody next to Sealer. So we'll see what happens. But these are guys that I like at 21 that could be options for the Miami Dolphins. By the way, speaking of football, DJ Burns Jr., the NC State kid, He wants no part of football. And it's funny because people want to make him a tackle. And why is it that we do this a lot in life, that we want to force people to do things that we want, not what they want to do? Like, some people just don't want anything to do with football. They want to be basketball players. They want to be baseball players. They don't want anything to do with the contact of football, the wear and tear of football. And DJ Burns, let me see, what was his exact quote? His exact quote was, Burns says he has zero interest in playing football despite reported interest from NFL teams. And only why? Because he's 6'9", 275 and has some agility. But that doesn't mean he has the edge to play football, or maybe he doesn't want to. But no, we have to make him a tackle. And let's write articles about it. And let's put more pressure on the kid, because there isn't enough pressure on him already that he's in the Final Four. Interesting. The Stephon Diggs situation is one that I'm not sure people are looking at it this way, but I'm going to look at it this way. This is trouble coming for the Texans. So it's the only way I can look at it. You eliminated the final years of his contract because he wants to be a free agent. What happens if he has a bad year, or things are frustrating, he's dropping the ball, or maybe the other guys, Nico and Tank Dell and the tight end, is it Schultz, I think, or somebody else? They're all getting the ball more. This guy doesn't stay quiet. And he could be a pain in the ass for a young QB, because he has to play for free agency now. He's not playing for the Texans. He's playing for himself. And he's a all about himself type of guy. Because if he ain't getting the ball, I hope you're ready to hug him and give him some love, because this petulant child's not going to be happy. I find this to be a real gamble for the Houston Texans now, because now you're playing for it all. You're not playing just to win. You're playing for the future. So you're going to be checking your stats post-game, every game. I didn't get enough catches. I didn't get enough touches. I didn't get enough targets. I didn't score enough. If he was a character guy, then all right. But he's a malcontent. I'm just saying, this could be a scenario that's going to end up polluting Houston more than anything else. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. All right, what do we got here? Does Buffalo move up in the draft with a trade? I don't know. I don't think so, because then they would have to give up picks, and they're kind of in the middle of rebuilding a little bit more. So I don't think so. You take the Oregon center if he's there. He killed it at the Senior Bowl practices. He's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at 21. Oh, any theory on why so many elite wideouts are big-time divas? It's just a position that requires it. I don't know why. It's just a lot of idiots at wide receiver. It happens. I don't know why. It doesn't happen nearly as much at running back. Some at corner, but not nearly like wide receiver. Nothing like wide receiver. Nothing at all like wide receiver. All right, folks. It is a quiet Friday. I appreciate all of you. We thank David Furones, Manny Navarro, Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend. We will see you all Monday morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel as always. Y'all be good. Thank you.